right, guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. All right, let's take a look at what we've got here when it comes to the EZA TURs. We got very, very, very popular characters getting EZAs. Well, Kid BUU not really so much, but it's kind of like the thing about some of these villains in the series. I do think that kind of like Full Power Frieza would fall into this. Kid BUU, Cell, Bojack may be the greatest example there is of like the villain opponent can be carried by the character they're fighting. You know, maybe Gohan. You know, an example of not the case would be like Broly versus Gogeta, which is, you know, hype versus hype. But a lot of the villains, you know, like can kind of, you know, it's like Kid BUU by himself. Like people be like, oh yeah, he's cool, but whatever. But when it comes with the Super Saiyan 3 Goku, people really care, right? So these are very popular characters, and I think they nailed it. To me, they seem better than I probably would have expected, but let's go ahead and jump in. EZA TR list is definitely looking a lot better now. We have Broly at 10, and this just speaks to the strength. Although, remember, Kid BUU and Super Saiyan 3 Goku are technically 2025 characters, but this does speak to the strength of 2024 that this guy is like number 10. This guy is an incredibly strong support. I will always favor support type characters. I think they just make the team just run smoother. Broly is not only directly supporting with stats, but he's also Rainbow Orb changing. Very powerful abilities. His weakness is that he gets just really get crushed early on. He can be very impressive as the fight goes on, defensively and offensively, right? You get a lot of Rainbow Orbs. He has guaranteed additional supers, which is good. Very powerful super EZA, but again, he can get washed very easy early on. And, you know, basically the second and third hardest fights in the game, kind of, you know, they're very tough right away, which is an issue for, like, this guy or, like, you know, EZA Tech Broly. This is a DOKKANFEST EZA TUR list, but, you know, just mentioning him. Bojack is here. Really, as time has gone on, this has frustrated me a lot. There is a great, like, Big Bad Bosses villain core that we have going on right now. Let's just pull up the Big Bad Bosses link, and we can see some of the new updated Big Bad Bosses characters. We have a lot of elite options here. Just like within this screen, like we can really build like some nice strengths, but it's difficult to build around this link and then also cover Bojack's link. You're like, or also cover Bojack's restriction. You're significantly weakening the team running like, I don't know, like first form Frieza instead of like LR Janemba or something like that, right? Like it definitely hurts. He's of course a pretty impressive support in base. Transformed, he's really strong, and doesn't have any restriction type weakness or anything like that. But I mean, remember, that is a thing that happens, right? You kind of go in, like we have the Gogeta and Janemba fights, which right now are a huge part of the story of kind of the current meta of the game. It's very important. And, you know, Bojack, like a lot of these characters here, can get washed early on by Gogeta and Janemba. We're talking slot 2 as well. But this guy can put up big stats. Good defense, big stats, right? Capable of damaging Goku and Frieza, capable of holding his own. He's a good EZA. Next, we have Full Power Frieza. I like Full Power Frieza. He could go in slot 1 a little bit. You know, you at least have some level of comfort in Gogeta and Janemba. He could be effective. Only thing about him is that he will really begin to lose a lot of his power defensively, which is most important as turns go on. But I feel like this guy is just really solid. I mean, guess what? Defense is kind of like, you know, pretty fucking important. And Frieza can really hold business defensively. You know, kind of like working on, you know, like a similar like Bojack type team, Slug type team, stuff like that, right? All right, next we can go ahead and grab INT Super EZA Ultimate Gohan. I actually really like this guy. I considered even moving him up, but I'll leave him right here. I'll leave him right here. Here's the thing about this guy, right? He's a nice support type character, which is very helpful. And he's guarding, which is, you know, for normals. And then he can have dodge. He could have 70% dodge for super attacks. You run this guy as a slot 3 support type character, and he's just very effective. He's really solid. like him better than Tech Ultimate Gohan by a huge margin too, right? Like having that dodge for super attacks is huge. And I mean, I think really dangerous boss normals probably could be a huge problem for him. Like, you know, I don't know, like Goku and Frieza juice normals, or like really devastating like Bulma normals probably could do damage to him. But again, he still does have that dodge, so I like this guy quite a bit. I think he's fine right there. Next we have the INT Super Saiyan 2/3 Goku. I don't know. Man, maybe I should put him behind INT Ultimate Gohan. This guy shows up right away. He does have your 70% chance to dodge, but that's only if your HP is above 50%. I absolutely despise this aspect of this character, that like this extra dodge chance, which is crucial to him being good, is HP tied like this. It's just, I don't know. It's very easy to get wall up turn 1 and then turn 2. Uh-oh, now we're fucked. So I don't like that. I love that he's a Rainbow Orb Changer. Rainbow Orb changing just really helps the team so very much. I also hate this guy in Tech Majin Vegeta's transformation conditions. I've had so many problems getting in Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Tech Majin Vegeta to transform. It's problematic. I hate it. I probably, like, I would just take what physical Super Saiyan 3 Goku has over this one. I just don't like this. I think like at a glance you look at it and go, oh, it's not bad. But I mean, keep in mind, you are talking 1, 2, 3 like stacking restrictions right here. There's 3 different things you have to hit. I don't know. I think it should have just been turn 3. Boom. That's it. Should have just been turn 3. I see no reason Goku and Vegeta couldn't have gotten that. This guy, you know, can get 80% dodge, guaranteed additional super, guaranteed crits, but he does still have that same weakness. I don't know. He's very effective. It's like he's very effective when he's effective, and then he sucks ass when he's not, right? It's like he's a dodging character, right? Like the UI Gokus are great when they just dodge, and then they suck ass when they don't dodge, right? It's just the thing about this type of character, all that matters is them dodging. If they're dodging, you're good. If they don't dodge, they're losers. That's why they could do additionals, crits, all that different type of shit, like completely irrelevant. All that matters is that they're dodging, or else you lose. So, there's that. I like Trunks and Goten a little bit better than the Goku. I think Trunks and Goten are a bit of a better character than him because, number one, they don't have the stupid-ass transformation that we have to do in order to kind of get their ability. But I love how, for them, they get the defense, attack, and dodge chance. It's every attack they get hit by or dodge. I think that's awesome that they started doing that. Really is very player friendly. But the issue is this character at the start, I mean, this is not slot 1 unless you're assuming monster risk. Huge, gargantuan risk if you're putting this character in slot 1, right? Once they build up 80% dodge, you're good. But you know, the thing about having to get hit or even having to dodge is enemy attack placement is still out of your control, right? You're going to need the enemy to play ball a little bit, or else the run can go sideways. It's just how it happens, right? You know, it's just how the community is, or how people are in general. It's not even a Dokkan thing or a Dragon Ball thing, right? But it's like, if they like the character, they go, oh yeah, well, I mean, you build them up slot 2, you're good. And then if you don't like the character, you just point out, like, it could be very difficult to build him up, right? Like, it's like the same argument that people could go both ways on. But I do like this character. Remember, we did recently get that Tech Goten, this guy who EZA'd, who's pretty solid, which could open up their God active skill. 100% dodge is obviously very good. And then they have 2-turn support with their unit super attack as well. So, like, this character can be very, very... They have a ridiculously high, like, upper ceiling. I think that they're very good. All right, next is Tech Majin Vegeta. Tech Majin Vegeta is pretty good. I think that he's pretty much just a fish in base, though. Besides the fact that he's Rainbow Orb changing, this guy is doing nothing. He's not very tanky. Like, his damage isn't really that impressive. I mean, it's going to be under Goku and Frieza's threshold a lot. I mean, he can sneak over it, but it's going to be right, like, typically, like, between, like, that, you know, 12, 13 to, like, 17, 18 range. He's kind of, like, hitting somewhere in there. So, sometimes he'll be able to damage Goku and Frieza, sometimes not. He has the same horrible transformation condition that INT Super Saiyan 3 Goku does, which I absolutely fucking despise. But once you transform, Tech Majin Vegeta is very good. I mean, this guy, like, in slot 2, like, he is, like, gonna be untouchable. Max Buff's Red Zone Burst Mode Kid BUU was not able to touch this guy. Not able to touch him. This Majin Vegeta is very effective. I like him. I like him a lot. People are saying that he's pretty effective in slot 1. I still want to get I've used the shit out of this guy and in Super Saiyan 3 Goku and all these BUU Saga, like, because all these BUU Saga characters are around. So I have used them, even though I haven't done a dedicated, like, long video to them. If you, like, look around the footage, like, they're spread out everywhere in these videos, right? Like, that guy, he was in the Master Physical Super Saiyan 3 Goku showcase a lot. I use him with Gotenks a lot. You know, so we'll see with that. Okay, so there's that. He's very good, but it's just like up until he goes into Majin Vegeta. I'm pretty okay with what you get once he goes into this mode, though. And then we go to the top 3 right here. I mean, we could just knock them out 1, 2, 3. Obviously, there's been a lot of discussion. I think the Swag Kage mentions this to me, and I think he's right. And it's just that Physical Super Saiyan 3 Goku is so popular, so it just creates, like, I mean, like, all of this, like, argument and stuff like that, because people just, like, want him to be, like, the best and stuff like that. I actually am pretty favorable to him. I thought he has been very good. I do have him at 3. I've got Beerus at 2, and then I do have Kid BUU at 1, by the way. So let's talk about them. Physical Super Saiyan 3 Goku, I think, is very, very good. Now, he can struggle to transform into Super Saiyan 3 because the way I would describe his condition is inconsistent with this HP condition. I think it's just like sometimes you'll get it, sometimes you won't. Now, so far, I would say I've had pretty solid luck with it. I feel like we've been regularly going into Physical Super Saiyan 3, haven't really had too many issues. This guy's pretty effective in base. There was one time he got killed by... It was Janemba? I think Janemba killed him in base. But we had him tank a Gogeta super attack. So it's like, depending upon your additional luck with him in base, I mean, he's quite a bit better than Tech Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta, the Tech Majin Vegeta base, which is why I think this guy is way better. Now, obviously, this guy is tremendous transformed. I mean, he's building up dodge, damage reduction. He's supering left and right. He's got crits. He can give you the dreaded super normal, but even if he does that, he's still going to be very effective. His normals could be doing crits. If you're going up against Goku and Frieza, it's going to be 0-0-0. But against some of the other bosses, because he's so likely to crit, he probably could still rack up some good damage just with his additional normals, right? Overall, I'd say he's pretty good. He's a nice, strong, sturdy character. I don't mind when, like, EZA TUR characters have restrictions, really. I mean, Bojack's is a bit different, because his is so tight. This should have been 3, not fucking 5. 5 is so much. But Goku has got none, dude. He doesn't have restrictions at all. So you just get, like, a very strong, sturdy, very impressive character added to all these category teams, man. I mean, what is he on, 15 teams? Right? Like, that's pretty solid. That's helpful. So I definitely like this guy a lot. Super EZA Beerus, I mean, it's just very simple. Everyone agreed that this guy was ridiculously OP until this guy came out, and then, of course, people started bitching. But this guy's super good. He's supporting. He's very, very tanky. His defense is similar to Beast Gohan at a lot of points. He's got a team protector mechanic. Damage-wise can be a little bit iffy, right? Sometimes he could get above the threshold to damage Goku and Frieza. Sometimes he won't be. He's got crits built in. He has guaranteed additionals. This guy is really, really good. Don't listen to baiting nonsense where we're going to pretend that this guy is not on this level. I think that these 3 are clearly a step above. And then lastly is Kid BUU. Kid BUU is really, really... he's just like a complete package is what Kid BUU is. Complete package, I would say. Whereas, let's just compare him to Beerus. I think, like, right away at the start, both Kid BUU could be killed. I think Beerus would probably take a little bit less damage. Like Beerus not built it up at all. Remember, Beerus has one of the mechanics I do hate the most, which is this right here. He has to get hit to get stats, but he has monster defenses, so it's like it's not as bad. But like if both get super attacked right away, I think Beerus will do a little bit better. But I don't like, once Kid BUU does a couple of attacks, he becomes invincible. I've found that the best way to utilize this character, I mean, I know there's just gonna be so much bitching about it, but this is more important than this, right? Once you get hit 6 times, he loses 100% defense, 20% damage reduction, and then you'll be able to get access to the active skill and get the 20% attack and offensive buff. So I don't think it's like, I would compare it a little bit to Videl's active skill. Obviously, Videl is hers is way worse, but it's a comparable, like, almost instance to Videl's active skill, where Videl's active skill will give her permanent damage, but she loses defense. Essentially, that's kind of the same trade-off Kid BUU gets. I found him to be much more effective with this. So he is a very obvious full dodge build character to hold that defensive strength up as much as he can. He's healing. He has this nullification right here. As of this moment, the hardest boss in the game, Goku and Frieza, is a melee super boss, an unarmed super boss, which means Kid BUU, you're not going to be on Goku and Frieza within 3 turns. It's impossible, right? Well, unless there was like a giant form that could kill a phase quit, and it's impossible, right? Like I don't know. We'll see, but as of right now, it's not happening, right? So he'll have a 70% chance, essentially, to dodge Goku and Frieza super attack on top of everything else he's got, which is good. He's got the crits built in. He has the additionals. He's got damage reduction. Only thing I would say, this should have been a 70% chance. He can only do 3 supers. This should have been 70. That's really the only thing I'd add to him. Maybe if I wanted to be a little bit greedy, maybe just, maybe bump this up to like 30% right there or something like that. I don't know. Something like that. Now, this guy does have a little bit of a restriction right here. This is more of a restriction than Goku or Beerus have. Dude, it's so comedy. You can always tell when someone is, like, trying to have a good faith, like, argument about these characters, or when they're just full of fucking shit, right? When people talk about Beerus's restrictions, you know that they're agenda farming, agenda pushing. Because if you look into these categories, Movie Boss, Realm of Gods, Exploding Rage, it is every single character he's going to be next to. So he doesn't, I say it constantly. There's 2 types of restrictions. You feel it, you don't feel it. You don't even have to think about that. Like, it's going to be hit. Every good character that you're going to have this guy next to has got one of these 3. Beast is on Exploding Rage. We know about all the Brolys. Realm of Gods, hello? All those god characters. Like, it's not really a problem. BUU's maybe a little bit more so. Remember, BUU himself counts. So you just need 2 other Majin Power or BUU Saga category characters. Luckily, though, like, those categories are very strong, right? Like, you could easily get, like, the 2 Buhans on the team, or maybe, like, a mix, like, with, like, Gotenks or Angel Super Saiyan 3 Goku or something like that. Right? Like, it's not really too tough to do, but that is one thing this Goku does not have, is any restrictions whatsoever. Beerus almost basically doesn't. And Kid BUU does more so than the other 2, but it's not the worst ever. But yeah, I feel good about this. I think it looks like this right here. What is this? This is just, yeah, okay. This is the way I would have it going. Oh, whoops, no. Wait, no. This is what we're looking like right here. Pretty impressed. I do think that physical Super Saiyan 3 Goku is up there. So I think you probably could argue him, like, if you're gonna talk about your physical Super Saiyan 3 Goku, that is just like super, 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 super every turn. Like, I could see why someone would say, like, oh, he's the #1 EZA to or stuff like that. But to me, I will always like value the stronger defenses in slot 1 more. Kid BUU for most of these fights is pretty effortless in slot 1. Again, we did have him die to Gogeta one time, but Kid BUU for the most part can handle business, right? So there we go. Here's the last, well, this is the 2nd. Yeah, January 2nd. So this is what, 9 days ago. No changes, really. Just Goku and Kid Buu added to the top. Tech Ultimate Gohan and STR Kefla get knocked out of there. So, there we go. Let me know what you guys think about the top 10. Here, I want to try and... Yeah, perfect. Let me know what you guys think about the top 10. Thanks, guys, for watching. And I'll catch y'all next time. Mwah!